At this time, I would like to invite Connie Jervis's daughters, Barb Winter and Peggy McClay, up to the front to say a few words about their mother and the history.
Okay. Langley in the 1930s was very, very different from what it is today. It was rural, with most people engaged in farming. A small town grew up along the new Fraser Highway when Mom was a youth, with Langley Prairie Elementary School anchoring the western limit near 200th Street, and which was called Carmel at the time, and a farm animal auction every Thursday at 2:01. Can you imagine a farm animal auction? I remember this. The inevitable occasional escapee cows and pigs on Fraser Highway. What is now the one-way section was the only commercial area in Langley. Fort Langley had ahead of it. The high school, later Central School, near 206, formed the eastern end of town, and that was Langley. In the 1950s, I remember a chicken farm with big barns on 56th at 201. Now that's west of Andreas's restaurant, right? And that's a chicken farm? Crazy. It's now long swallowed up by apartments. One block off Fraser, where the current Valley Village is, was a farm with a big house, tall poplar trees, and cows, where Valley Village is. Langley was not only small, it was very isolated. The Patola Bridge was the only way to get across, to drive across the river, and it was completed only a couple of years before the events that we are commemorating today. Before that, to get into New Westminster, which was town, you had to go via the BC Electric train. It took a full day. Langley was also poor. Mom talked about her teaching experience, and she described youngsters, a brother and a sister, who shared a pair of overalls. The pants came to school every day. The kids alternated. Sure, there were farmers that had food. Sure, there were some people who had money, but many, many people were having a very rough time making ends meet during the Depression. The farmers, especially those who had large tracts of land, had a great deal of social and political control. They dominated local politics. They became the wardens, the reeves, the council, and the school board. They had a great deal of local power in a small, rural, isolated community. Connie Jervis was born just a couple of years before women got the right to vote in BC. She grew up at a time of social and political unrest, being a teen and beginning to prepare for her career in 1929 at the start of the Great Depression. And the idea of a woman with a career was beginning to take hold in society. And Mom realized that if she wanted an independent life, she could get it, but she'd have to fight for it. She believed in the equality of women at the very core of her being. She grew up with a sister and a mother with strong, independent personalities. We were brought up, Jim and Peg and I, in a family that valued fairness and equality. Mom thought that women and men had differing, complementary roles, not the same, but had the same rights. She valued music, art, and above all, education. Mom probably didn't understand the full implications of what she did that day back in 1939. She didn't have to. She saw a situation, she knew it was unjust, and she had the guts to refuse to be intimidated. She fought for justice in her own way. Rosa Parks didn't understand the full implications of the civil rights movement that she helped launch back in 1955 when she refused to give up her seat on a bus in Alabama. Later, Rosa Parks said, quote, "At the time I was arrested, I had no idea it would turn into this. It was just a day like any other day." You can imagine her tired, her feet are sore, she just wants to go home. And no, she's not going to stand up. Rosa was tired of being pushed around, and she stuck to her sense of fairness and justice. And that's what Mom did too. Mom and Dad encouraged us to follow our own ideas and not back down if we thought we were being treated unfairly. They encouraged us to study. They supported us in getting weekend and after-school jobs to save up so we could go to university. They encouraged me to go to UBC, Peggy as well, and to be independent. Independent financially, professionally, socially, and politically. Being independent has made a huge difference in my life. These values are important, and I am delighted that Ken has done all this research. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is amazing. And the BC Heritage Center, Labour Heritage Center, and the LTA has taken this initiative, and they remind us all that we must continue to protect the legacy of human rights that our parents and previous generations have fought so hard to achieve.